I'm going to go ahead and get started. When everybody else decides they want to join in, that they will be more than welcome to join in as well. I don't think there's a way that we can all chant together, but if we can, hey, great, let's do so. I'm going to go through just the basic chants, and then we'll go through a Dharma talk and a sermon, or a Dharma reading, and then a Dharma talk, and then I'm going to close out from there. So, welcome in everybody. This is the Fort Bliss Buddhist Sangha Facebook Live web service. So, let's go ahead and get started with the chanting, and then we'll get moving. I'm getting some Charlie horse action going. Okay, that's fine. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Bhutam saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi bhutam saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami, Tadyampi bhutam saranam gacchami, Tadyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, Tadyampi sangham saranam gacchami. Anatipata brahmani skaparam samadhyami, Adinnana brahmani skaparam samadhyami, Kamesu ichachara brahmani skaparam samadhyami, Savana brahmani skaparam samadhyami, Saramera yamajya kamanatana brahmani skaparam samadhyami. Okay, now that we've got the initial chanting complete, we are not going to go into the usual period of meditation simply because it's kind of silly to sit here and watch me kind of do nothing on a screen. Kind of awkward too. So we're going to move right directly into the Dharma reading and Dharma talk. For those of you who were here last week, same book. It's exactly the same book. And I know that some of you are probably getting tired of hearing about the nuns and what they have to say. This one is kind of important. Bear with me. All right, what have we got here? So indeed. So, I'm going to be reading the verses from two nuns. One, because she kind of explains what's going on, and then the other because it's more of a practical example of what the first nun is saying. So the first one is the nun Vira, or hero. And the second is Mita, or friend. Right. So first, truly strong amongst those who think themselves strong, truly unafraid amongst those who hide their fear, a hero among those who talk of heroes, Don't be fooled by outward signs, lifting heavy things or picking fights with weaker opponents and running headfirst into battle. A real hero walks the path to its end, then shows others the way. And Mita and her verse. Full of trust, you left home, and soon learned to walk the path, making yourself a friend to everyone, and making everyone a friend. When the whole world is your friend, fear will find no place to call home. And when you make the mind your friend, you'll know what trust really means. Listen, I have followed this path of friendship to its end, and I can say with absolute certainty, it will lead you home. So, what I'm hearing from these nuns, and do feel free to just, if I'm completely off, make sure I know about it in the comments. Feel free to post whatever I'm not seeing or whatever I'm not picking up on, because I'm not perfect either. I don't claim to be. Right. So here's what I see from these nuns. Right. So the first one, Vita, hero. And we can bring this into a modern context as well. What she's saying is there's a difference between the so-called hero, right, or the brash kind of rush headlong into battle and try and prove yourself. But that's not a hero, right? That's somebody pretending to be a hero. So what she's saying a real hero does, instead of doing all of these silly things like going really fast in a really fancy car, or running into battle, or picking fights with people, or lifting heavy things to prove how powerful you are, right? She's saying a real hero has the courage to walk the path and then show others the way. Right, and so bringing that into a modern context, I really see that mostly in our healthcare workers these days, right? So you see that they are doing their absolute best to do things like practicing social distancing, and they have always been really, really fond of things like making sure that cleanliness is a huge deal, sanitizing everything, taking care of making sure that everything is clean, especially their hands. These are the heroes who are walking the path and showing us how to do it. Right? These are the heroes that we need to be recognizing. Right? We could recognize, anybody else on any other given day. But today I really want to focus on those who are out there on the front lines, working the battle, as it were, the sanitation battle, and really walking the path and showing us how to do so too. Because you will see all of these healthcare workers, all of the guys from the CDC who are putting out videos and such, saying, hey, this is how you sanitize, this is how you clean your hands, this is why you go for 20 seconds. Right, this is why you use soap and water. This is why you bust up that hand sanitizer when you don't have soap and water. Right? They are walking the path. They are walking the path as they see fit, as is part of their job, but is also part of their calling, as part of their way of being. Right? As people in the healthcare professions, they are doing their best to keep cleanliness at a top priority, to keep everything that's going around from spreading any further than it possibly, doing everything in their power to make sure it doesn't go any further than it possibly can, right? Making sure that it is contained as best they possibly can. And in doing so, they are models that we should be following, right? So the other model that we should be following is the nun Mita, right, friend. And her verse really speaks to, I have seen the end of this path. I've walked this path. I can tell you about it. I can show you the way. Right? So let's go back over what she said. Right? Full of trust you left home and soon learned to walk the path, making yourself a friend to everyone and making everyone a friend. That first part of it is so key, right? Because she could have gone about the path and said, nope, I'm just going to do this alone. I'm just going to keep my distance, stay away from everybody. And granted, given our current situation, you should be practicing proper physical distancing, proper distance from, physical distance from others. But that doesn't mean that you can't be their friend, right? And you should be their friend, and you should be connecting with people, right? As many as you possibly can, because there's a lot of people out there who, with the social isolation that has to be done these days, who are maybe not taking it quite as well as they could, who really are struggling through it. Making friends with them, right? Have we thought about doing that? Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. Let's try so. Let's try to do that, right? And on the same note, those who are not engaging in that social distancing, who are not practicing, keeping to themselves and keeping away so they're not spreading so they're not vectors for the spread of what's going around. Those would be the pretending heroes that our previous nun was speaking of. Who think, I'm not going to get it. I don't have to worry about this. I can go out. I'm going to be tough. Blah blah blah. No, you don't play that game. We don't play that game. We follow the guidance that we're given because it means something. Because those in the healthcare profession have seen this. They know what they're doing, right? And they're trying to guide us on that path. They're trying to make sure that stuff doesn't spread when it doesn't have to. And that's why they are heroes, and people who, just randomly go out and chill and hang out and do stuff, like our fun, lovely friends in Florida who decided to go on spring break. No, bad plan. Right? That's not heroic. That's not proving anything. That's not proving how strong you are, or how much more your immune system can handle, blah blah blah. No, that's proving that you are not where you should be. You're not doing what you should be, right? These healthcare workers who are showing us the way, they are showing us, they are doing what they should be, and they are showing us how to do so too. We need to start if we haven't already, we need to take their advice, right? So, closing out with the nun Mita and her, the last part of her verse. Listen, I have followed this path of friendship to its end, and I can say with absolute certainty, it will lead you home. Now, for some of us, staying home is kind of a thing, right? Going home is definitely a good thing, right? Let's be friendly when we're at home too. Let's be friends and try and as best we can within what limited resources we have. Let's try to stay at home and still be friendly, to still connect, to still try, to still make that effort. Let's try. So that's what I see in these verses. And again, I could be way off base. I could be completely off. And I'm more than happy to listen to it in the comments. I think I'm going to stick around for maybe a couple minutes, answer some questions, and talk through some of the comments that I'm seeing posted. By all means, tell me if I'm off base or if I'm not. As you see it. That's what I saw. Right? Okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, mostly people just comment, or just people watching. So do feel free to comment. Do feel free to let me know where I'm maybe not where I should be, or maybe let me know where I got things right. Again, I'll stick around for a couple minutes to answer questions with the community, and then probably close it out from here. Sound okay? So the line was, and when you make the mind your friend, you'll know what trust really means. When the whole world is your friend, fear will find no place to call home. And I'm going to scoot myself just a little bit closer so I can see what some of these questions are, because it's in super tiny font down at the very bottom of my phone. Okay, there we are. Okay, well, if there are no other comments, no other like closing things, I'm going to go ahead and do some. I'm going to go ahead and close out this service and move on to do some other things too. So. Well, kind of the sermon was kind of where I was going with that. There's a lot of encouragement in knowing that there is a path to take and there is a path ahead. Specifically, I'm referring to the passage from the nun Mita, the nun whose name is Friend. Right. So when she says right there at the end, "Listen, I have followed this path of friendship to its end, and I can say with absolute certainty, it will lead you home." She's saying that this is a really good path to be on, and this is a path that will take you where you need to go, where you should be. This is a path that will lead you the right direction. And so we have this path laid out by the Buddha, and as I'm bringing up today, taught to his nuns. We have this path that we can follow. We have this path that will lead us in the right direction. All we have to do is make the effort, to put that effort into doing the right thing. The path is laid out. It's open. It's ready for us at any moment, in every moment. All we have to do is make the effort.